What's going on, guys? Welcome if you're new to my channel. My name is Mattergy. This is my first MLB The Show 20 video. I normally post Madden Ultimate Team content, so if you guys are here for that, hopefully you'll stick around watching MLB stuff. I'm going to be posting a lot more MLB over the next few weeks, especially while Madden is kind of slowing down content-wise, at least until like golden tickets and stuff come out. Then I'll probably make more videos there. But in the meantime, I am loving MLB The Show 20, and I hope you guys are too. I love a lot of the changes they've made, gameplay wise, but especially like Ultimate or Diamond Dynasty, and how many amazing cards and things there are to grind to launch the game. So, if you saw the title of the video, you're obviously probably here to see how to get team affinities completed as quickly and cheaply as possible. I know everybody, like myself, is trying to get this Joey Gallo, and you can see I'm getting there. I'm almost there. I just figured out this method last night, and I've been grinding it a little bit, but it hasn't been too bad, and I'll definitely have him by the end of the day. Probably to upload a video, maybe reviewing him later if that's something you guys are interested in. I know a lot of people have already done that, but yeah. So how do you get team affinities completed without completing Showdown? I know a lot of people say, oh, Showdown's the fastest way, the easiest way to get them. All you gotta do is just skip to the end and beat the final boss. But if you're like me and you're not like a top 100 player, that's probably really difficult. As you see, I just loaded up Showdown here. I was gonna just play through later on today to try to practice. But it's very hard. I mean, if you see, you skip to the end, you have to hit, in this particular one for the AL West, to get like the Joey Gallo or here, I'll go back out. It's not showing it, but yeah, Joey Gallo, the Matt Olson, or the Shohei Ohtani. Three of the best actually affinities are all in this one division. But yeah, so to grind through this, you have to beat Justin Verlander. You're down 15-0. You actually have to score 16 runs before making 20 outs if you skip to the end. With just the base team perks that you drafted. And I've tried this a couple times, and the best I ever did was score, I think I was at like 9 runs, and I just don't see myself being able to beat it without getting a little bit of help from completing some of these earlier ones. I know some people recommend just doing the first 3. And if you don't know, you can fail these little missions and they don't hurt you, but then when you get to these, I think they're called mini bosses, like little mini showdowns. If you do fail these, you fail the entire run. You have to start over, and you basically wasted your time and a bunch of stubs. But if you do beat those, you see you get a little bit better players, and you move on. And you can get diamond players from this one, and then these little ones at the end as well. And you can also see on the right, where it says Final Showdown runs. These mini ones give you these little moments give you one run towards that 15 or 16 that you need to actually get. So if you do complete all these, you can get 1, 2. Oh yeah, and the mini bosses don't help towards the run total, which I think is a little weird. Especially because if you fail those, you fail out. But let's see, you get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can get up to 10 runs towards the final boss if you complete all of these successfully. Not to mention all the extra players you get. So that would obviously make it way easier, but that's going to take a way lot longer amount of time, which defeats the whole purpose of Showdown, in my opinion, as you'll see in a second when I get to my method. So let's just say each of these moments, including the mini bosses, there's a total of 11. Just say on average those take you 10 minutes, which I know some of them are like just get like 2 base hits or something for the mini ones, but then you get to these little bosses, and those are probably a little bit longer, more difficult. So let's say on average 10 minutes is probably fair. So 10 minutes for each of those, that's 110 minutes. That's an hour and 50 minutes. And then this final showdown probably is going to take you at least 20 minutes or so. So I'd say easily over 2 hours, maybe up to 2.5 hours, depending how long it takes you to finish some of the bosses. So 2 to 2.5 hours, and you have to do the showdown 3 times to get enough points to get a full Team Affinity Face of the Franchise card. So yeah, if you can skip to the final showdown and beat that boss on the first try every time, yeah, it's definitely worth it. But if you have to go through and beat each of these, again, that's 2 to 2.5 hours probably every time, and that's assuming you don't make a mistake, you don't lose any of these little mini bosses on the way, you don't lose the final showdown ever, that you get all of these free players and runs towards your final team, which again is not guaranteed. So I don't think that's the best way, unless again you're really good at the game, because otherwise you're going to be spending probably at least 6 hours on this, and all you're getting out of it is the vouchers really. Whereas if you go to I'll show you my method. We'll go to Team Affinities. Let's do the Joey Gallo one, for example. So you go to missions, you see you get 5 points towards the Team Affinity just for playing 250 innings with Texas players, sorry. Still in Madden mode a little bit, but Texas Rangers. So every time you play 250 innings, and that's per player. So each player on the field that's a Texas Ranger, when you play a full inning with that player, you get 1 inning towards this total. So if you have 8 position players and 1 pitcher, obviously 9 players on the field at a time, for a 9-inning game, that would give you 81 innings each time you play a full 9-inning game with an all Texas squad. So 81 times 3 is 243. So that means you get almost all of this in three full games, and you'd only need 7 more innings. So the most efficient way, and also if you're in the middle of a game when you reach this 250, this is very important. It doesn't carry over your extra innings earned towards the next run. So say I do this one more time right now for another 81, that would put me at 240. So I'd only need 10 more innings, but say I play another full 9-inning game, the first 10 runs of that, or 10 innings of that game will get me to this 250. But if I come back and after I finish that game and played the full 9 innings and earned 81 innings technically, this will be at 0. It doesn't carry over your extras, your leftover run, or innings, sorry, keep saying run. So if you play a full 81 inning game, or 9-inning game, and earn 81 innings towards this, you want to make sure every one of them is counting, so you don't have any wasted innings. So what I recommend doing, and I've actually made a separate lineup for this, I recommend you do the same. So this is my Affinity. You see the AFF initials. This is my Texas Rangers team. Just got Rangers at every position. So once I get to the 240 inning mark, or 243, whatever it is, depending on how you like, if you pinch hit or somebody, it kind of takes away an inning. So once I get to where I'm like 10 innings away, I switch to this lineup, which you can see is almost all San Diego Padres, and 1 Texas Ranger, Joey Gallo. So Joey Gallo will earn 9 innings towards the Rangers Affinity for me, which will get me from that 241 or 243, depending on where you are. He'll put me over the edge. He'll put me right at that 250 mark, so I don't have any wasted innings. So then all these Padres are earning innings towards the Padres Affinity. So you can kind of work on 2 at once that way. You could also just do like a half and half team, but I kind of just want to hurry up and get Joey Gallo, so I'm trying to knock out the Rangers one first. So yeah, so play 3 games, earn your 81 innings every time. That'd put you at 243, and then just have 1 player on your team towards that affinity, towards that team, and then everyone else. I should have Corey Kluber pitching, so I want to switch that to try to get Padres pitcher. So yeah, have your other 8 players towards another team for that 1 game, and then switch back to your like for example, Rangers team, and keep going through the cycle. So in total, as I said, that only gets you 5 points per time you complete the 250 innings. So if you look at it as a little more than 3 games per 5 points, and you need 50, that would take you 10 times, so a little more than 30 games per team to get the full 50. And I would also recommend Making sure you're paying attention to each team has a stat kind of mission to accomplish. This one was easy. It was just pitch 40 innings with Rangers. So obviously I was using Corey Kluber as one of my 9 players every game earning innings. So that also just kind of happened on its own. Some of these are like get hits with infielders or things like that. Just make sure you're paying attention and trying to do those things and get that knocked out as quick as possible while you're doing this. So that's an extra 5. So that's 3 less games you have to play. But still around 30 games. Something else you can do, I actually completed the collection for the Rangers because I'm trying to get all of the live series cards kind of quickly this year. I'm also no money spent, so I'm also going to be putting out a lot of tips for like making stubs and things like that. I'll show you guys my team really quick actually. It's not the best obviously because I haven't spent any extra money on the game, but I've had some really good pulls. All these cards I pulled Bellinger, Yelich, Arenado, Freddie Freeman, and also got some good reward players. But yeah, definitely trying to get no money spent, build the best team possible. These team affinities are a great way to work towards that. But yeah, so if you are trying to do all the live series cards like me, completing these collections, you see the Rangers was really easy. You just had a couple golds, then the rest silver, bronze, and commons. It gets you a lot of XP as well, and those XP rewards are great. So you get a lot of XP from completing the team, but you also get another 10 points towards the team affinity. So that'll speed this up a lot more too. But again, don't do that for teams that have like diamonds, like the Angels with Mike Trout and Rendon. Don't spend a lot of stubs trying to do that. That's just if you're also trying to get all the live series cards and get those rewards. That definitely makes it a little bit easier and quicker, especially if it's a team that only has like silvers and golds. Anyway, so how to do this quickly as quickly as possible. You want to go into your settings, and you want to do this here. Don't do this in game. If you change any of your gameplay settings from in the middle of a game, it only applies them for that game and will not save them for future games. So you want to just do this in the main menu before you grind this out. So the main thing you want to do, change your hitting to directional. A lot of people, change your hitting to directional. A lot of people think that makes it a lot easier. Just hit a home run here or there. Just aim the plate indicator towards where you want to hit it. So like if you're a lefty batter, you want to aim it towards like the right field wall. Just try to get the shortest distance for a home run. So put your best home run hitters at the start of the lineup and just try to get a home run like the first like inning or so, just so you can take a lead and then bunt your way to the end and just make it as fast. You're trying to just do everything as fast as possible. You're not trying to like rack up stats or like pile on runs. Again, everything's as quick as possible. So pitching, change it to classic. There's no meter or anything. You just push the pitch button and then you hit X to throw it. You don't have to do anything else. It just makes it super quick. Turn on pitch delay faster to make it faster between pitches. Turn off API so they don't recommend, like the catcher's not recommending pitches for you. I don't know if that slows anything down, but I just do that anyway. And I think I'm trying to make sure there's nothing else. Warm up relievers. If you are going to bring in a reliever, in case your starter gets tired by the end of the game, you're worried about giving up a run, and you really care about the win, I just turn that off so you don't have to warm up your pitchers when you bring up your relievers when you bring them into the game on the field. You obviously warm them up in the bullpen, but you don't have to like throw those 8 pitches or whatever it is. That doesn't like present itself when you bring someone in. And then you back out, apply changes, back to Diamond Dynasty. Go to extended play versus CPU. I usually just play an easy team like the Orioles or the Giants. You want to pick, if you are planning on winning the game and trying to score runs, you want to pick as the away team, which is very important, because if you do get a lead and you're the home team always bats last, so the game will just end after 8.5 innings, so you won't get credit for the full 9 innings. That's very important. So make sure you you pick the away team if you're going to try to score runs and win. And then, or if you want to try to play on Legend, I know some people will try to play on Legend difficulty for the better rewards. If you want to try that, I don't think you get better rewards for losing, but if you want to just get destroyed by the CPU and just let them win, because you're just going to be bunting on offense, that works as well. And in that case, you can just pick the home team and just intentionally lose just to make everything faster. Again, just give up a run and then just try to get outs as quick as possible. But I would say just play on rookie. I don't think, actually, yeah, you only get the better rewards if you actually win the game. So I would just play on rookie, try to get one run, and then just bunt the rest of the game, get out immediately, just make contact, and then run extra bases than you should, more bases than you should. So if you hit like a line drive that would be a single normally, just run to second and let them tag you out. Whatever you can do fastest to get out in and out of the games. So again, if you do the math, I think on average this was taking me like 15 minutes a game if I was just getting a run really quickly and then bunting the rest of the way. So 15 times, again, about 30 games you have to play per team. That's if you don't do any of the collections or anything else like that. So it's 450 minutes divided by 60. 450 divided by 60. About 7.5 hours probably doing it this way. I know that sounds like a lot. But again, if you remember, doing the full showdowns all the way through, assuming you did it perfectly every time, was going to be about six or more hours. And if it was 2.5, so that's if it was taking you 2 hours every time, which we said it could be up as much as 2.5. If it's 2.5, then you're looking at 7.5 hours. So you're taking just as long, but you're also risking that you might lose some of those games and fail out and have to redo it, and that would take even longer. Whereas this method, you're guaranteed to get it just from playing the innings. You don't have to win the game or anything. You could literally lose every single one of these games on rookie to the computer. It doesn't matter. You just get credit for the innings. And also, as you can see, I'm level 52. That's mostly just from doing this. Like, you get a lot of XP. I think you get like 5,000 XP a game or something like that. I mean, I've been leveling up a lot. So you get XP. You also get post-game rewards. So you're getting 30 of those post-game rewards every time you do this. So eventually you're going to probably get lucky. I think I pulled a couple golds. I haven't seen any diamonds yet on the board, but I have gotten a couple golds for my post-game rewards. So you're getting post-game rewards, XP, and grinding these team affinities without spending any stubs. You may just have to buy some like bronze or common players. I already had a bunch of these from the packs I pulled. And obviously, again, I did the Ranger set or collection, but you don't have to spend like just a few hundred subs to get a full lineup for any of these teams, really. If you don't already have the cards, and then just play against the computer. You can just be watching TV, Netflix, YouTube, whatever, while you're doing it. Just hold triangle when you're on offense, and then just throw pretty much strikes on when you're pitching. And like on rookie, the CPU will not score a lot of runs, if any. Again, if they do, it doesn't matter. Just lose the game. Just get in and out of them as quickly as possible. You'll still get the XP. You'll still get the innings. You'll still get post-game rewards. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video and it helped you guys out, please leave a like. Consider subscribing for more MLB videos in the future. I'm definitely been posting a lot of MLB content, like I said, over these next few weeks. I'm loving the game. I hope you guys are too. Hope you guys stay safe. Have a great day.